Divine greetings, entities, energies, lovelies, bodies of light, the seekers and sojourners of truth. Where are the seekers and sojourners? The 144 chosen of the chosen few, third degree chosen ones. You know who you are. And I'm especially speaking to those who are serious about their soul's ascension. This is a type of alert message, right? So always gotta have some divine, some disturbing distractions in the background. This is what the energies want to do. As soon as you heard that go by, that's what I'm seeing. These desperate energies that are desperately grasping to be a disturbance in our life, world, and affairs. Anywho, before I go any further, let me introduce myself. If this is your first time here at the channel, welcome to this divine energy essence of it all. I am akilahtextri in this divine energy, and as usual, I'm reporting to you live from 5D, 5, none other than the fifth dimension. So my real 5D people, please stand up and step in. It's time for us to shift gears to another level, to another win-win. Here we go. So with that said, if you haven't done so already, please remember to like, subscribe, share, comment if you dare, whatever works for you. But we want to keep the algorithms going. Thank you for those of you who have been supporting and subscribing. The number is going up. So at some point, we'll be able to reach that mark where we can do a live and we can all join each other in there. The soul family, the soul tribe, those of us who have been communicating in the comments. Like there's a few of you that I usually see regular that I already feel like this is part of building a community. So thank you for being a part of that, and thank you for tuning into you, because it's not about me, it's about you. So with that said, what am I speaking to you all about today? The directions of the winds are changing is a message that I got. Please know, as usual, I'm bringing you the news to infuse, if you so choose to infuse with that light grid. So this is a light grid. This is to remind us of our light grid activation. This is to call those to the station. Get to your stations, those light warriors, those soul ascenders, those of you who are actively in the forward movement of this 5D shift, of this paradigm shift. We really need to get to our battle station, so to speak, right? At a soul perspective level, we need to be on our P's and Q's. This is a urgency that I want to say is setting. It's no doom and gloom. Anything that I say is no doom and gloom. I feel that there is a certain urgency, and I can feel it, hear it in the wind, as I was meditating earlier today, and just literally witnessing the shift in the wind and how the winds are changing. And the message I was getting is that the directions in the winds are changing. And when I say directions, I don't just mean north, south, east, west. I mean the direction as in the instructions, right? Directions are also instructions. So if the directions are changing, so are the instructions. The wisdom in the wind that we are always getting within is also changing, and so we need to listen keenly and carefully. And there is a certain type of urgency, so and it's an urgency that I'm not really hearing many people talk about. Like there's a lot that we see happening with the conjunction. The Mars and Uranus conjunction is something that is also catapulting us, which you may hear some people speak about. There's the sun that was in the sun, that's another important aspect is the sun being square with Chiron, and that's our wounded healer Chiron. So there's a lot to be dug up and dealt with. And most importantly, Neptune at 29 degrees. This is major. This is another major shift that we won't see, none of us again in our lifetime. We will not see Neptune leaving from Pisces and going into Aries in our lifetime, right? Not that it's not going to happen again, but we won't be witnessing it in this now moment that we're here, in this finite spot that we're in, on this plane right now. So this is very important, because there's something, the luminaries are going to be highlighting that with this full moon. And that was, You know, I'm going to speak more on that when I speak on the, I'm going to do probably the next video, but I'm going to do it on the full moon, the second full moon in Capricorn, because we had the first full moon in Capricorn last full moon. So we're closing out that window, and I'll speak more about that, how the luminaries are lighting that up. So the message that I was getting with that, in lieu of all of that, is there is a certain urgency. There's a certain tone of urgency that I hear some people touching on, but not really speaking about how urgent this is in our soul's dynamic. It is that urgent. And this is not doom and gloom. I'm not saying this for doom and gloom. I do not do the fear mongering. So it's not for doom and gloom, but it is for us to know there is an urgency in changing our tune. There's a tune that we need to fine tune, adjust something. There's something that we need to attune to, let go of. And I've been talking about it. The energies have been helping us, but we're really at a pivotal time, not but and. We are in a pivotal year right now, right? For those of you who heard the video I did about 2030 and the 10-year agenda from 2020 to 2030, we're like at the halfway mark. We're at a very pivotal point within that 10-year spectrum, right? And within this year, we are at a pivotal point of this year, very pivotal right now. There's a lot of things, especially like this summer is very pivotal right now, right? We had the planetary parades in June. We had Jupiter moving into the next house for the next year. We have this conjunction that we're having right now, the Mars, and we're still within the reigns of that conjunction. Mars and Uranus, that is change, you know, passionate initiative with change. So there's a passion to ignite some change, right? So these are the messages. We got to listen to the angles of the light. And at what degrees are these angles coming in at, right? 29 degrees, the analytical, you know, degree is like wrapping it up. This is where we analyze. That's what the analytical, this is where we analyze and wrap up with what we need to wrap up. And so with it closing out in Neptune, you know, being very pivotal that we're closing this out, we're highlighting the luminaries right now are highlighting this graduation with the full moon. And not only that, within this window, we're doing a reset. This reset is what's happening. There's a reset, there's a lunar reset, and it's not just for the moon. See, we got to understand what these messages are saying to us. So it's not just about the moon. 747, as soon as I said that, which means 4 in the middle, that's foundational balance within the manifestation. So that tells me I'm giving that message, I'm giving it to you just as I got it. There is foundational balance that is to be had within our manifestations, within whatever we have been manifesting, whatever has been manifested, what is to be manifested in the future. We are to have a balance, that foundational balance. And that foundational balance can look like a couple of things, right? The 4 corners of the earth, the 4 elements, the 4 directions, north, south, east, west, all of that depicts the foundational balance. We're to hold that while we're balancing, right? That's what we balance on. The 4 seasons, it's a balance, it's a balancing for us. So know that there is balance within the manifestation. So whatever you're manifesting, the balance has to be there, right? So that's the message that is coming through for that. I'm sharing that with y'all. That just came through fresh off the pot. So take that however it resonates with you, remembering that we were in a universal year of 7 before this. So whatever has been manifested, find that balance, go to that balance, create the balance, whatever it is, however this resonates with you. There is a foundational balance to go to in regards to manifesting whatever it is to be manifested and come through. So with that said, why I'm saying all of this, the urgency is to get your whole life, world, and affairs together. All of the alleys. When I say alleys, I mean mentally, physically, spiritually, emotionally. Those are the main 4. Since we're speaking about foundational 4, let me keep it there, because there's more alleys that I could talk about. You know, financially, relationally, those are some other alleys, right? Financially, vocationally, but those are like external things. Like, that's not the core right now. The 4 core is mentally, emotionally, physically, and spiritually, right? And the main 2 are physical, spiritual, right? That's why that number 5 was showing up the way it was. The number 5, which was with the new moon in Cancer at 14 degrees, 4 and 1 is 5, as I said, and it was on the 5th day, 5, right? And even now, we're the Mars and Uranus conjunction. They're going to be like in a 5-degree orb, all the way up to, let me make sure I had it in my notes, all the way up to the 23rd, right, of July. Between July 8th and 23rd, they're within this 5-degree orb. So there's this pull on the physical spiritual balance, right? Okay, so with all that said, let me get to the meat of this, which is, this is serious. This is the urgency, right? This is serious, coming off of the Sirius gateway. This is serious business. We have to take our soul ascending lives very seriously. This is not just about being spiritual, being conscious and aware of some information. It is, what are you doing? Because this pivotal point, this resetting, and as I said, the directions of the wind that I saw shifting, it's highlighting to me that there's going to be a new trajectory. If you can kind of imagine it, it's almost like the wheels in a clock go click, click, like this one turned this way, this one turned that way. It's like click, click. You know, there's a new resetting, and we're all being set on a different trajectory, depending on how we were showing up in our lives, depending on how much we have evolved or elevated. It is imperative right now, why I'm saying this, especially with the graduation, the Neptune graduation. It's not just about the planet Neptune, it's the energy that is being highlighted with us. There has to be an end to all illusions. Let me say that again. There has to be an end to all illusions and fantasies, okay? So when I spoke about Pluto being in a connection with Neptune, when I was saying that that would bring a reality, a realistic tone, right? It brings it takes out the unrealistic ideals. That's what's happening with the aspect of Pluto and Neptune. Pluto is bringing the revelation to help. It's like it's suctioning out of those of us who have utilized Neptune misappropriately, because Neptune is about inspiration. Neptune is about going for your dream. So it's not to say don't dream, but however, if misused, and the shadow aspect of Neptune is being caught in illusions, delusions, unrealistic realities, we have to find our way out of that. So wherever you are now, I don't know who this is for, but especially if you are on the verge of any type of mental struggles, mental illness, any type of maybe spiritual psychosis or any psychosis, it's time to find your way out of that, right? Some people having a spiritual awakening may be going through a spiritual psychosis and not even know it, but it's time to find your way out of that. Hold on to the truth, find what it is you need to do, extract the unrealistic ideals out of it, utilizing that Pluto energy to allow the revelations that are coming up to you to feed you the truth that you need, right? And this goes for all of us. There's revelations that are being shown to us, and rather than letting it beat us down or fighting with it or resisting it because we don't like it or we're not comfortable with it, whatever it is, take your uncomfortable and your inconveniences and your uglies, gather it up like a baby, cradle it, pay it the attention it needs, and get what you need to get. Just like how you would look at a crying baby and say, oh, what's wrong? I need to figure out what's wrong with you. How can I help you? That's what we need to do with those revelations. Oh, it's being revealed to me. Oh, it's hurting me. It's making me cry. What's wrong? What is the message in this? What is it that I need to do with this so that I can evolve and graduate from this, so I can take out the illusions? The illusions are our distorted memories, right? So our memories are distorted because of the experiences that we're having and how we're internalizing them. We really have to get a hold of this. I'm saying this in this video here, but to be honest, you probably have to go through a workshop to really work through it. This is why I offer my workshops quarterly, right? And the next one is not until September. So I'm giving what I can right now within this amount of time, this time frame, and you have to do your best to get through it, right? I do offer help, like I'm saying what I'm saying to you, and if you feel this is for you and you need more, you need a little help with that, those who are serious, because I don't play with my energy and my time. Those who are serious, if it's something that you feel like, yes, I need a little bit more help with this, or, you know, a little guidance with this, feel free to email me with the link that I'm going to be leaving, because I've been leaving my link in the videos for those who are interested in the 5D calendar. So feel free to email me, contact me if this is something that you need. This is serious, and this is for serious people who are taking their soul ascending journey very seriously, like myself. And this is why I'm saying this urgency. This is not an urgency for everybody, right? This is for those, this urgency are for those who take their soul journey that serious, like myself. Those who know you've come here on a mission. Those of you who know you are transmissions of light. You being a body of light, you came here on a mission, right? So you're transitioning your mission. You are in transit with your mission. So you yourself, we are transmissions of light. Not only do we receive transmissions of light, we are transmissions of light, right? So I'm speaking to those who are on their true transmission in this co-mission that we are coexisting in within our transmissions, if that makes sense, right? And I know it does. So this is, you may hear some kids in the background, excuse that, some children. I don't like to say kids because kids are goats. Let me not call the children goats, but you may hear a little bit of that in the background. So I say this with a very serious tone, because it is time for us to tone up. Tune in to tune up. Let me say it that way. Tune in to tune up. Find your divine coordinates, right? Follow your synchronicities, which your synchronicities are like your breadcrumbs in life. Pay attention to the synchronicities, because they are standing out a lot right now. Do not bypass anything. No spiritual bypassing. If something comes up, if you hear something, pay attention to it. You could be walking by and you hear just one line out of the movie or on the TV. If your children are watching something, oh, that's really something to pay attention to. If you happen to walk by and hear something specific, listen, say, hold on, why did I hear that? What's that message? The messages are coming in many ways. Listen to the songs that you're singing. If you're just walking by and a song pops up, listen to that. All of these are synchronicities. If you're sitting out in nature, pay attention to what you're noticing. What are you resonating with? It's about the truth resonance in the earth and in nature. So I invite us all to tap in, tune in to tune up, and tap in and freak these energies. Don't let these energies freak you, because there's a lot going on. Like in the video when I just started recording, you heard that loud, that's what's happening. The moment you take the time to settle in, there's a major distraction, right? And we are the volume of distractions is being turned up, literally the volume is being turned up. And also there are volumes of distractions, if you get what I'm saying. Like you have volumes of books, volumes of distractions are happening, right? Just like these children going back and forth right about now wants to be a distraction in the midst of a serious message, right? So with that, let me share with you the little bit I got about these directions, and then, you know, we'll go from there. The directions, noticing that these are the directions of the winds. They're changing, and you can look as I say it. I don't know if you could hear it, but I just heard the and I knew where to look. I heard it before I saw it moving. The winds are blowing and the directions are changing. The energy is moving through the wind. So the light carrying the information is being shifted. The energetic signatures within the atmosphere are shifting through the current movement in our time-space reality. This is something we have to understand. This is the urgency. Things are being shifted. And this is information. I've done a video about that. You might have to go back and look at when I was talking about, you know, wisdom in the wind and things like that. It's energy that is moving. If you remember what I was saying, the atmosphere holds the energetic signature. That is like the 5th dimensional level. The energy is more the 4th dimensional level. The energy is like time, space, reality, time, right? And this is 4D is more about the time, creation that is existing in time. And so that energy is the wind that moves, right? This is why I said the light is carrying the information. So because it is shifting, the light, energy, and information, the way that it's carrying it, it's being shifted, right? And so that's why the energetic signatures within the atmosphere are shifting. The currents within the atmosphere are shifting. And when I say current, that's of course the energies. It's shifting our movement, the movement. And I'm talking about the forward move, capital MOVE, move. How we are moving in time, in our time-space reality. So as the currency of energy moves, it shifts our whole paradigm. I want us to understand this. Our whole paradigm according to the shifts we've made or the lack thereof. This is why I said our projection. See, and as I say that, the winds pick up. Our projection is shifting. What we are projecting, what we are coming from, all of that, the dynamics are shifting, and you will be set in certain ways, right? I'm going to get back to that. Let me finish reading it because it's only a little part. We are either moving with the flow of currency or stuck in the blockage of the flow due to our participation through the practical application in conjunct with our true heart's vibration. So what is that saying? It's due to how we have been participating. So we're either moving with the flow as it's going. This is the tone that's changing. You're either moving with the flow of the energies or you're stuck, right? Stuck in the blockage of the flow, the many different blockages that are happening. The distractions are all part of the blockages, right? The blockage of the flow of light due to our participation, how we've been showing up or the lack thereof through practical application, meaning what have you been doing? How have you been applying principles? Not just knowing it, not just soaking up information and knowledge, but how have you been applying yourself to it? And I'm not just talking about covering it up with spiritual things. What have you been removing and detaching from? That's application. Have you been applying yourself to detach from certain things that no longer hold in the new paradigm, right? Or are you still applying yourself? Are you still having practical applications with the old paradigm? Even if you're doing spiritual things, if you're still holding on to the old paradigm, if you're still participating in the old paradigm, then that hinders you and that blocks your flow, right? I'm not saying you can't flow or move at all, but it blocks your flow. And that plays a part in the trajectory as we are shifting with the wind chimes, right? So it's through our practical application, and it's in conjunct with our true heart vibration. So what I mean by that is not just about what we do, but it's what we're holding true in our heart. This is why we're being called to go into the heart. A lot of times you hear people saying, go back into the heart, not the brain, but we need to be heart-centered. Go into the heart and get in true. This is why the subconscious, the heart is a subconscious of the soul. So when we say go into the heart, it doesn't just mean, oh, let's be nice and do Care Bear stuff and lovable stuff. The heart is not just about saying, I love you. The heart is about being true and accepting truth. The heart is, do you hear the heartbeat? Do you hear the heartbeat of truth resonance within the earth? Right? There is a truth resonance in this, or that Schumann resonance that you hear everybody talking about. Yeah, that has to do with truth resonance. Do you hear the heartbeat of the earth? Go into the heart. There are messages in the heart, and the heart sends more messages than the brain. The heart sends more messages faster and more instantaneously than your brain. Your brain has to sort things out. The heart is very instant. Boom, another heartbeat. Boom, another message. Boom, 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 boom. How many messages are being sent just in your heartbeats? Okay, so okay, I felt like, okay, I don't know where that okay came from, but okay. So wisdom, it's with your true heart vibration. So keep in mind, look at, I'm saying this so you can reflect and look back on what you have been doing. How have you been participating in your practical applications that are also in a core dance with your true heart vibrations? What have you been holding in your heart, right? And I'm talking about the secret vaults, the secret faults within the secret vaults that you have vaulted in your soul, that you're hiding even from yourself. Yeah, those. That's why it's important to do shadow work, so you can get to those secret places, because that is what's going to hold you back. The things that you're not paying attention to, those things are what's going to hold you back, because that is what shows up in your life, world, and affairs, and how you're participating. All right, so through the wisdom in the wind, our instructions change as the movement in the energies rearrange. So let me say that again. Through the wisdom in the wind, our instructions change as the movement of the energies rearrange. And they're rearranging according to the energies you have set. Remember, you are energy. We have energy centers through us. This is why you have to align your rainbow. I always say it when I meditate. I align my rainbow, I call it my rainbow light prism, with the rainbow light prism of the earth. And what I mean by that is I'm talking about my 7 energy centers. That's my rainbow light prism, with the rainbow light prism of the earth, because the earth has its own energy centers. The earth has its own chakras, so to speak. We got chakras, so does the earth, right? And then 7, but there's the core. The core is 7, right? So I align mine with these energies interact. Where are your energy centers, which are doorways to your consciousness? So ultimately, where is your conscious? Where's your soul's consciousness, along with the soul's consciousness of the earth? That's what we're looking at, those vibrations. And it's through the wisdom in the wind that's shifting right now, that our instructions are changing. And those instructions are changing according to us and what we have been showing up as, right? So that's the message with that. And this is an urgency. So I'm sure I may speak on it some more as it comes up, but I must say it right now. Please pay attention to the wisdom of the wind. Pay attention to the directions in the winds that are changing, because they are changing. They're changing, they're shifting, and it's you. Don't think it's outside of you, right? It is the, as I said, in the atmosphere. It's almost like there's things that the atmosphere, but even within the atmosphere, at, let's say, the lower level of the atmosphere, within more of the, where the wind is moving around a lot, the 4th dimension, right? So whatever was set, there's a shift that is happening according to what we have set. That's what we need to understand. We're a part of that shift. So the things we've been doing, the things we've not been doing, right? So ask yourself, what is it that I need to undo? What has shown up for you 6 months ago when Pluto came in and did that big shift, that Pluto and Sun conjunct into Aquarius? What was the big revelation around the end of January? What was that for you? What was the eclipse season like for you around that time of March, April, when we had the little ecliptic window? And what was the conjunction, the Jupiter-Uranus conjunction for you? These were some major shifts. Look at that throughout what was happening, and especially right now, what is showing up for you right now, because it's only echoing to you what 6 months ago and the days that I've just mentioned. So look at all of that to see where you need to change your perspectives, because that's been the message that's been echoing. Change your perspective, change your perspective. What needs to be shifted, because we play a part of the way that wind and the instructions are coming through. We're getting new instructions as per what we have been doing, because the divine doesn't give you more than you can bear. So whatever you've been showing up as, don't make excuses and, oh, I couldn't do this because of that. Whatever you are showing up as, that's what you're helping the energies to shift and reset for you. And that will be the new trajectory, especially after graduation, this full moon where the luminaries highlight Neptune's graduation, and you have a little bit after that up until about August. So it's really going to be highlighted with this full moon. But then in August, it'll be, that's when Neptune is officially going to shift. Graduation time, next, on to the next thing. So you have that small window. And then there's more to it. I'll talk about it in another video, because we have the only extended time I see now. This is for those of us shifted into 5D. Everything that I'm saying is about 5D. But the old paradigm, when Pluto dips back into 29 degrees of Capricorn, is going to be our last dip, our last toe dip in the water. Okay, so, and I'll speak more on that Pluto dynamic in another video. But for right now, look at what's happening right now as the directions of the winds are changing, and our luminaries are highlighting that. So with that, before I go, the answer that I got after this meditation, just sitting there with it, was that 5D rest, 5D, meaning the 5D paradigm, the 5D consciousness, all of that true time reality, 5D rest in our tree where we meditate consistently. So, and when I say tree, that means our spine, right? And that was a message I got, my news in nature, because then I saw my little 5D animal just resting in the tree right where I was while I was getting all these messages, just resting there. You know, I call my squirrels the 5D, and it was just resting there in the tree. And I noticed there are more in the tree now, because this is where I hold meditation. I sit and I meditate in that area a lot, so there's a vibration there. So when I saw that, that's when I heard the answer, 5D rest in the tree where we meditate consistently. So hold your meditations constantly, consistently, persistently. Be in a meditative state so you can get the answers that you need, right? You can meditate on the move. Just keep your mind in a state where you are constantly tuning into the divine. It doesn't mean you got to walk around like Om, but those of you who know what I'm talking about, you know what I mean. Walk in your meditative state. Hold your meditations. Have a place where you go and meditate consistently, and know that 5D rests there. So those of you that are tuning in and tapping into the 5D, know that the 5D aspect rests right there in your tree. Your tree is your spine, and your spine is our central nervous system, right? All of our nerves, all of our messages. Look at it like that. It's the central processing. So where all the messages are like, doo, 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 that's our tree. That's our tree of knowledge. So know that 5D rests in that wherever we are holding meds. So my biggest answer is to please hold your meds, hold your meditations constantly. And I'll leave that there. Listen out for your instructions, your directions, because they are shifting and changing the trajectory. And I want to say this before I go to that, it's set. It's going to have it set. And when I say set, it doesn't mean set in stone. As I said, it doesn't mean set in stone, but we do have to change our tone. And it's setting the where we're going to be, that trajectory or that trajectory for the next the rest of this let's say this 10-year spectrum, because we're at a pivotal point. So the way I see it, that's what's going to be set for at least the next 5 years before maybe you realize something, you know, and do something different. So it's going to kind of make it hard to come out of that set vibration. You're resetting and resetting your frequency and your tone, right? You're adjusting the dials. So kind of look at it like that. This is an important time. Yes, it is an urgency for those who are in their soul's ascension. It is an emergency for those who are, you know, slacking, 1 foot in, 1 foot. For those who are straddling the fence, oh, this is an emergency. This is more than an urgency. It's emergency. Whoop, whoop, whoop. Pull it together, you know, or stay where you are. You know, it's a choice. Everybody has a choice. Your voice is your choice. So choose wisely. With that said, I'm going to happily remind us of our 5D calendars. If you made it this far, please remember to like, subscribe, share, and comment. If you dare, leave some wind emojis, because the wind is changing. The directions in the wind and our instructions are changing. So leave some wind emojis if you don't have anything to add to it, but you know that this resonates with you. Wind emojis would be beautifully and just fine and help us keep our algorithms going in. Reminders of the calendar, 5D calendar. Get it at your 5D corner near you, which of course the link will be in the description or in the video before this if you don't see it there. And that would be all, because we're already well into our detox. It's going fine. It's going beautiful. And that will be that. That's all, folks. Get your instructions right. With that, love you all. Each one, reach one, teach one. If you don't know where to start, start in your big, beautiful heart. Shine your light from the inside out, and be the candle that lights the next one, and the next one, and the next one. Peace, love, and light.